Hello and welcome to Stubtown, PSU TV's review show. Today we'll be talking about Star Trek Beyond.
I thought we were beyond that.
My dad joined Starfleet because he believed in it. I joined on a dare.
You joined to see if you could live up to him. You spent all this time trying to be your father. And now you're wondering just what it means to be you.
Okay, so starting off, spoiler-free, we're actually doing things a little different this week. We're going to break the videos up into two separate videos. We're going to have one that's spoiler-full and one that's spoiler-free. Right now, we're just going to jump right into the spoiler-free section and sort of get attitudes about the film. So, Junmei, do you want to start?
Sure. So, Star Trek Beyond, big summer blockbuster, third movie of the latest J.J. Abrams series. I liked it.
Yeah?
I actually had a good time with it. I'm a big Trekkie, so let's put that up.
You've seen it all.
Yeah, I've seen it all. I've watched all the TV series, seen all the movies. So we'll put that out there first of all. So big fanboy. And so yeah, the movie. Everybody knows the basic plot. Something crazy happens to them, and they land on a planet, right?
Totally.
But what I think I enjoyed the most in this particular film, they did a good job of exploring some of the relationships that aren't the standard relationships,
Absolutely.
which was really good.
Yeah.
So we got to see a lot much better or much more developed performance
Totally.
out of several of the cast. So I like that a lot. As always, it's action packed.
It's action-packed,
Yeah.
back to the brim.
Yeah,
Action.
exactly. And I overall, I'd say I like the villain.
Stronger than most.
Stronger
Still
than
not,
most, but not quite there. You know,
Yeah.
it's not like Khan.
Yeah, it's no Khan, it's no Heath Ledger's Joker, but it's honestly, I just think it's Idris Elba's performance.
It really
like
is,
the
really is.
the villain's barely written, but it's just every time he's amazing
This
on
is
screen.
true. Anything that
true.
Idris Elba plays, whatever character he plays, it just basically makes it better.
Oh yeah.
So I don't think I've seen a bad character come out of him.
I don't think I have either.
Yeah.
All right. So on the other side of this, Eric, do you want to give sort of a little impressions from you?
Yeah, I did not like it.
Okay.
I really didn't enjoy it as a film, and
Oh, and what's your background?
I
real quick, with
come
it?
from a very different perspective because I have not really watched the original Star Trek show. I haven't seen the original movies. I haven't seen Next Generation. I saw the first Star Trek reboot film,
Okay.
and I didn't see Into Darkness.
Oh, you're lucky. So lucky.
So
Oh, come on.
I think some things that we talked about, like some things were lost on me because of a lack of context and a lack of appreciation and fandom.
Sure.
And I think that made other things more magnified for me, and it made me
Oh, yeah.
feel
You don't have the fan goggles.
Yeah, exactly. No, it wasn't.
Oh,
It
yeah.
didn't
Sure.
feel. I didn't have the attachment to the franchise, so it felt more like your run-of-the-mill blockbuster to me.
Well, I think that's sort of fair because it is sort of it's very much a blockbuster. It's unapologetically a blockbuster, I feel. It's not like the most cerebral Star Trek film at all. There's tons of action in it, which I did like. There's a lot of the action scenes are creative. There's a lot of very
Yeah.
the villain has a very interesting way of taking down the Enterprise. Like it all makes sense. One thing I appreciated characters, they try everything before they give up. Like they don't give up. But overall, I have the fan goggles as well. I'm a huge Trek fan. I've watched all of the original, all of Next Gen. I think the only thing I haven't watched is Voyager. But the original movies, I love the original movies.
Right.
I was a fan of the 2009 Star Trek, just Star Trek the reboot. I thought
Yeah.
it was cool. It was clever doing the side universe.
And I
Not
really
perfect.
liked that one.
Yeah. And then Into Darkness tanked me. Like, tanked me on the series, tanked me on just so many things. I was infuriated by it. So I went into this movie with, like, I guess I have to watch it for the review show. Like,
Yeah.
just really not excited at all. But I found that a lot of the things I'd been wanting from this new franchise were finally here. For me, the biggest thing was Bones. Carl Urban's Bones has been like one of the most consistently enjoyable things in the franchise and consistently underused, in my opinion. And original Trekkies will know this. Like, there's like a triangle, right? That is supposed to be Bones, Spock, and Kirk, right?
Yeah.
You have Spock as logic, Bones as emotion, and Kirk sort of listens to the two and follows the best path he can lay out. And in the past movies, they sort of lost the triangle. They tried to replace her with Uhura, but they never wrote Uhura well. She was just like on screen to fight with Spock. And in this movie, like, a lot of that like wasn't really addressed. There was tons of moments for fans. There's tons of like nods to the series in ways that were like lighter and more fun. It wasn't like they were pulling big plot points or yelling Khan or something like that. There was just that weird ham-handed thing that we got in previous movies. So I was really into this movie. I know because of the fan goggles, there were moments where I got very misty and was just like, I can't make it.
Yeah.
I think I can say for like all of the movies, I did like how they looked.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the cinematography. I like the style and color palettes and all those kind of fun stuff. I mean, it's very visually enticing and things like that.
I'd like to add on the visual things. I felt some things were really lacking in the art
really?
department. I felt like some of the CGI, there were moments that felt a good 2 to 3 years behind.
Oh, see,
Really?
I really didn't feel
It
that way.
I can't go into like what those were without spoilers,
Right.
but there were some moments where it was like, this is not well executed for me. It
Let's
wasn't-
definitely go back to it once we get to the
Yeah,
spoiler
exactly.
section because I'd
Yeah.
love to
I-
know which
Yeah.
ones you're talking about.
I
which
would
shots.
like to say personally, I appreciated that it felt like they were trying a lot of new ways to show the Enterprise and to show it in space and show it moving. That felt like genuinely pretty innovative and tried to bring a fresh look on something that we have
That's
seen,
true.
like literally for what, 60 years now or something?
Yeah.
Like
At the-
50, 40 years,
40
40
yeah.
years. Just an
Partly,
insanely long
I
time.
didn't like some of the special effects scenes and the first major action sequence. I didn't like it because I felt like it detracted from the setup and from the plot setup for me. Like like they breezed
it's all
through
like-
it. They just breezed through a lot of establishing things, and they didn't really.
And they're in the third movie of a franchise. at
Yeah,
this point,
and
too,
that's fair.
so.
And I haven't seen Into Darkness, so that might be part of it.
I
But
don't
it's-
think the writers of this movie did either. They basically pretend the movie didn't happen, which I loved.
I think I don't know who the second writer is, but the first one was Simon Pegg.
Simon Pegg, and he's such a huge geek. I mean,
Yeah.
I bet you somewhere he, like, after Into Darkness, he
Like-
was like, I gotta take the reins. Like, I can't be in another Star Trek movie.
I was
that's-
reading that they originally somebody else wrote the thing, and then Simon Pegg.
Yeah,
and the other
Roberto-
guy, they just did a rewrite.
Roberto Orsi, who's
Is that how you say his
infamous.
name?
I believe so.
Okay.
I believe it's Orsi.
Okay.
Because he's producer on this.
Yeah.
And he wrote the first script, and he was even going to direct it originally. And then everybody was like, that's a terrible idea. And they found a new director. They did a complete rewrite on his script and tossed it out, which, I mean, we're talking about the guy who, like, wrote Cowboys and Aliens or something. Like,
Oh, God, what?
he's constantly paired with Damon Lindelof, and they constantly make disappointing, sad movies.
Okay.
So I'm incredibly glad that
Cowboys and Aliens.
I wish that movie was different movie review.
Yeah,
but, like,
I mean, we could have
yeah.
a whole nother show based on that one.
It isn't uncommon, you know. It's easy to get lost in the vastness of space. There's only yourself, your ship, your crew.
yeah, performances though. I was shocked. Chris Pine was good. Chris Pine. I mean, like after his previous attempts at Kirk, they've felt very surface level, very and very wooden, very like there was a definite lack of that sort of Kirkish charisma. Part of that was in the writing, for sure, but I thought he did a really good job in this. I thought he,
I agree.
yeah, his haircut's way better too.
Okay, maybe that's a detail. I went across, but
Go further down. Carl Urban.
Way into it.
yeah.
I thought he was great as Bones in the second and third act, but the first act, I felt
Are you
like
kidding?
he was
Like the
a
best-
dollar store Nathan Fillion. He did
How
not have
can-
the charisma.
Even if it was a dollar store
Initially.
Nathan Fillion,
I feel
that
like
would
it
be
was-
awesome. Because Nathan Fillion is awesome.
But
Now,
a dollar store, watered down Nathan
the first
Fillion.
act has the scene between him and
Kirk.
Kurt.
And I don't
It's
like the
such a
way he
nice-
delivered those lines in that scene.
I was.
We should go into that on the spoiler
Yeah,
version.
I mean, I will say.
Man, I want to see clips that come up. It's like, what are you
Yeah, right?
talking about? This thing is awesome.
I will say that
Yeah.
like you could sort of feel him getting back into the role. You know, getting a little like it. There were a few lines that were clunkier than he's been in the past with the
Yeah.
accent, but
Yeah,
for me
yeah.
they're like negligible because
But
I'm
the-
always like more bones. I love bones, more bones.
By the
so,
second and third act, I felt like those problems went away.
Yeah, and I've got, like I said, fan goggles, so I was like, bones, yay!
He had some
Like,
great moments in
oh,
the second
yeah,
and third
yeah.
act too.
Oh yeah, the subplots wise, there's.
Yeah.
Then there's. So should we move on through the characters or the cast?
Oh yeah.
So Zoe.
Zoe Deschanel. No. Zoe Saldana. Zoe Saldana.
Saldana. Yeah. Meh.
Yeah, I've never liked her as Uhura, and that's the writing mostly. It's not her fault. But
That-
she's
Yeah.
phoned this one in as hard
Those
as she
those
could.
lines that she has with Idris, because she has this
Idris?
recurring dialogue with
Idris.
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 I'm sorry.
Mr. Elba. Anyway, the dialogue. they have.
No, yeah, she those were the worst lines, and she's just like, I'm gonna deliver these I care. I guess. Do I care about this? Do I want to do this? Okay, I'm getting paid. I should do this. I'm gonna deliver these lines.
She had very little to do in this movie, and I think that had to do with the restoring the Kirk Spock bones.
Right,
dynamic.
Okay, yeah.
because that's the
Yeah.
relationip they wanted to concentrate
Yeah.
on.
And
And
I did
so
like how that
I think
felt
they
better.
just
Yeah.
kind of.
I think
She might be cutting room floor, or
and maybe she was just like resentful of like not having any lines.
There
Nah,
was-
I doubt it.
I-
She seems really
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
I
No,
know.
I think it just comes down to how unfocused they were on her
Yeah.
on her character.
Yeah.
There was a new character introduced.
Oh yeah.
Should I say her name?
Yeah.
I don't remember the actress from my life.
J Law though.
J Law.
Yeah.
She, I'd say,
Not Jennifer Lawrence.
oh god,
J Law. That's
J-Law.
what I
the box
heard.
is open. No, J Law. I don't remember her actress's name. I thought it was a different person, who played her, and
It
I don't want
doesn't
to go
matter.
into that
But
'cause
she
that's
was-
embarrassing. But
I thought she was great.
yeah,
I was way into that character.
Yeah, like
I felt
she
like
was
it
good.
was.
I mean, she was a minor character compared to. I mean, this was the.
she's-
Well, okay, for me,
She was actually
the
a big character.
The story. Oh, how should I say this?
Actually,
I think the best part of her character was developed between her and Simon Pegg's character.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
and
that relationship was that's where we got to see the good part of her character.
Yeah.
And that's why I was saying it's minor because it's just that one plot.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like she's going to be showing up in the next movie.
I think she will.
Really? As
I
a crew
really do.
member?
I really do.
Well, they did.
Uh,
Are we?
no. Because they did a great job of setting her up, and basically
true.
because of just the saddest things, basically because they need to replace Chekhov now, right? They've said that they're not going to recast the part, and I think that's really great.
That's
I mean,
really cool.
Yeah.
honestly, Anton Yelchin,
He wasn't-
watching him in this, just remembering how good he is, and he's not even given a terrible lot to do in this.
He was kind of a sideline, like
Yeah.
Ahura was.
Yeah, and that's Chekhov. Chekhov's never been the
Well,
focus of a
I
plot.
know.
or
They
anything.
might have done that in final edits
Yeah.
as well to lessen.
I but like he's in a couple of great action scenes, but like you
He is.
forget just how much he can do with so little. Like his Chekhov is so charming, and so like they even took a little bit of the ladies' man thing that Kirk usually has, and they just sort of let Chekhov do it, and it works so well with Anton Yelchin. And man, every time he's on screen, I was just like,
That's a loss.
oh my god. But I think
that's a loss.
that may lead to them keeping J-Law. Like they established her well enough that I think that's a character that could keep. That you could see again.
Well, see again.
Like as a regular.
Who knows? Who knows what'll
I
happen?
don't know. Maybe the fifth movie. Down?
Beyond.
Bed, bath, and then beyond. No.
Oh god.
Yeah.
The whole shebang. The whole enterprise.
So Simon Pegg, right?
Yeah.
He's great in this,
Yeah.
and they just didn't dye his hair this time. In the first two movies, they dye it black because he's Scotty. In this one, they're just like, it's Simon Pegg. You know it's Simon Pegg.
Oh, they didn't.
Like, yeah, they just.
Oh,
It was
gosh.
funny. I mean, no one cares. Like,
I didn't even.
like he's
It
just.
didn't even register for me.
He's become Scotty so much that like they're just like it's, it's him. Like,
Yeah.
I just thought that was a funny little
Yeah.
detail that he's a writer now, so he's like, no, not
And then there's
yeah.
Idris himself
Oh yeah.
as an actor, just to cover that.
Amazing.
I think he nailed everything about that performance, and he did more than what he had.
Oh, way more. And
Like-
and there's this. We'll talk about that in the spoiler
He's a
section.
fantastic
All right,
actor,
so
but-
we're gonna go ahead and move on to the spoiler section. If you'd like to follow us to the spoiler section, we'll put a link at the end of the video. Just click that guy on, and we'll meet you over there.
Wherever it is.